What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 GMC Yukon Denali XL. Huge thank you to Duane Ferguson over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Yukon Denali or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, then I'll be sure to have Duane's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It's windy out, but a nice day regardless. However, I do want to apologize in advance if there is any wind noise in today's video. I do have a windsock on the camera, so I am trying my best. But as you know, Mother Nature has a mind of her own. But just like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 GMC Yukon Denali XL, and this particular one has been painted in the optional $495 titanium rush metallic. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, the Yukon remains unchanged due to a refresh coming for the 2025 model year. But this being the Denali, as standard, you get LED headlights with IntelliBeam as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. But taking a step to the left, this is what the front end of the Yukon Denali looks like. So obviously you get your massive satin chrome signature grille with your GMC lettering at the center. Just beneath your M, you may notice that you get a forward-facing camera, and that is because the Denali comes standard with a 360-degree view camera system that makes parking a breeze, by the way. And then coming down just a little bit, you may notice that you also get some accenting down here that is also satin chrome. So I like to call this your satin chrome front chin. And then you also get some satin chrome accenting for your outer grills, both there and there. And that kind of about does it for what we got going on here at the front end stylistically. However, I did want to mention that with the Denali, you get 8 inches of ground clearance. Now, going along with that, also as standard with the Denali, you do get magnetic ride control. However, if you wanted an air suspension system, you could look into getting the optional $1,795 premium capability package, which would give you the air ride suspension as well as an electronic limited slip differential and a couple other things that you can read by yourself on screen. However, this particular Denali has been optioned with the optional $2,025 22-inch bright machined aluminum wheels, and these wheels are wrapped in 275/50 Bridgestone Alenza all-season 02 tires. If you are not a fan of the way that these wheels look, there are 7 other wheel options to choose from, and I'll try to give you the best view of these wheels that I can. However, my shadow may be in the way. And then here's a view of the tread pattern on those tires there real quick. Here's also another front 3/4 shot of this thing. By the way, you do get rain sensing wipers as standard with the Denali. And then you also get this fender badge, some satin chrome, some gloss black, and your GMC lettering. But working my way into these side view mirrors, you do get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals. And as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming. You also get memory functions, your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. Then you also get a camera here, and again, that camera works with your 360-degree view camera system that again you get as standard with the Denali. And then last but not least, you also get a puddle light right there, which is going to illuminate this area at night. But taking a step back, here's a little side profile shot of the XL. You can see this thing is super long. But above where the driver sits is where you will find your body color shark fin antenna. You also get those satin chrome roof rails, so you get the satin chrome window trim. You also get chrome door handles with a body color strip and keyless access. So you can see this piece is chrome, the body color strip, that button right there is keyless access, and you can find that on all 4 of your door handles. You also get the chrome Denali lettering there, and beneath that you get those satin chrome body side moldings is what GMC calls them. And then one thing that's kind of disappointing about the Denali, in my personal opinion, is that it does not come standard with power running boards. So you do get these black assist steps as standard. I'll try to get you a nice little shot of what they look like there. And then you may notice that you do get a gloss black trim piece that runs across them. However, let's say, you wanted a Denali, but you did want the power running boards. Well, if you wanted the power running boards, that is going to cost you $1,745, and that does give you the power running boards with the perimeter lighting. It's pretty cool. It basically has a nice little light strip so you can see what you're stepping onto at night. Pretty cool. But But again, this is what you get as standard with the Denali. But like mentioned, again, I'm going to say it, I think the Denali should come standard with power running boards. And then coming back to here, if you press on this, that will reveal your capless filler neck, and premium fuel is recommended. So you could put 87 octane in this thing, but it is recommended to put premium in it. Now here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. So you may notice that you do get a body color roof spoiler. You also have your third brake light integrated into the roof spoiler, and you also get a hidden rear wiper up there as well. You get a rear window defroster. By the way, this upper piece of glass opens. If you put your hand right here, press on this little pad, the upper glass will open. So you can see, I do have the dealer tag hidden up in here, so I'm gonna put that in there. But you can see the upper glass piece opens. By the way, LED taillights do come standard. Here's a little booty shot. You get some satin chrome trim here. You have your GMC lettering. Just beneath your GMC lettering, you have your backup camera. You get some chrome badging. And then again, if you come underneath here, you'll see the little pad that's right there. And again, if you press that pad, the upper glass will open. However, obviously this thing being a Denali, you do get a power lift gate. So all you got to do, put your hand underneath here, feel on that pad, and the power lift gate will begin to open up. That's the speed in which that it opens up. And then one thing I did want to mention is that you get a ton of trunk space, even with the third row seats up. I'd say that's about 4.5 feet of storage space from about here to the seat back. So that is definitely cool. And then these are the standard carpeted floor mats. They get the GMC lettering on them. And then one thing that I really like, not only about the Yukon, but also about the Suburban and the Escalade, is that if you open this thing up, that is where you will find a household power outlet. If you press these buttons twice, that is going to drop your second row seats. And then you can also drop and raise the third row seats with these buttons right here. So if you push down on that, the third row seats will drop. You can also raise the third row seats up by pressing on these two arrows here, and the seats will come right back up. All you got to do, press and hold. And you can also do this same feature from the driver's seat, which I'll show you here in a second. Then you get a little bit of storage space down underneath here. You could set some jumper cables, some more stuff back there, but there's actually a decent amount of depth storage space wise the further you get back in there, as you may be able to tell. But then it starts getting shallower the closer you get to the trunk opening. And that kind of about does it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. If you press this button, the power lift gate will close right back up, and we will finish things off here at the rear end. So as standard, you do get 4 parking sensors back here. You also get some satin chrome trim that runs across the piece, like right above your rear valance. You also do get a quad tip exhaust system that does come standard. And then mechanically, a couple things that I figured you may want to know. You do get a mechanical limited slip differential, as well as a 2-speed transfer case, a 323 rear axle ratio, and a max tow capacity of 7,300 pounds. So this thing is plenty capable. It can tow your boat, it can tow your ATV, it can tow, you know, your car if you wanted to go to the racetrack with your family. This thing will do it. However, let's say you get just the regular Yukon, you get a Tahoe. The max tow capacity of those, if you spec them correctly, is 7,700 pounds. So because this is a little bit longer, the tow capacity does suffer a little bit. But yeah, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the optional $1,500 6.2 liter V8 that makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 14 miles per gallon in the city, 18 miles per gallon on the highway for 16 miles per gallon combined with 4-wheel drive. I did want to mention that with the Denali, you get 2 engine options. Obviously, you get the 6.2 liter V8, but as standard, you get the 3 liter Duramax. So if you're going more for fuel economy, you're going to want to look into getting the Duramax, but if you're looking more for performance and sound, the 6.2 liter is the way to go. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything from the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that helps me grow. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press this button right here, and it will unlock. You can press that very same button again, and it will lock right back up. But taking a look at the key fob, it's mostly satin black. And then going over the functions, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your remote start function, your power liftgate function. This is going to pop open the upper glass on the liftgate, and then that is your panic function. In order to remote start the vehicle, all you have to do is press this button twice, and she'll fire right up. But let's see what the interior of the Denali has to offer. So this one's been spec'd with the jet black leather upholstery. You do have a couple different interior options that I'm showing you on screen right now. But taking a look at our door panel, you may notice you get some leather wrapping up top here. You get some wood grain trim, some satin chrome trim, your unlock and your lock functions, your power side view mirror controls. That is going to power fold in or out your side view mirrors. This is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get automatic up and down windows in the front, but you only get automatic down windows in the back. You get 2 memory seat adjustment settings. You get a nicely padded and leather wrapped armrest, a little bit of storage space. You could set your phone, some more storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and this is what your Bose speaker looks like. So you do get a 14 speaker Bose sound system as standard. You also do get 12-way power adjustable front seats as standard with Denali stitched into the seat back. By the way, also as standard, these front seats are heated and ventilated. Those are what your front seat controls look like. And then you also do get the brushed aluminum Denali door sill that I'll try to catch on camera as best that I can. But stepping on into the interior, let's get full access into this, shall we? So let's take a listen to what the door sounds like when you close it. Let's fire this up, take a look at these screens. Pretty darn cool. I'll give you a little view of that graphic. There's Denali National Park, and then pressing on this, now we get full access here into the interior. So now I'm just gonna walk you throughout the entire interior. So coming over to here, this is going to engage or disengage your parking brake. This is for your lane keeping system. This is gonna turn your parking sensors on or off. This is for your automatic stop start system on or off. Traction control on or off. Hill descent control. This is gonna pop up your 360-degree view camera system on the infotainment screen. And then with the Denali, you also get a 15-inch head-up display system, which I'll show you these controls for the head-up display system here in a minute. And then coming down here, you get 4 high, 4 low, 2 high, and 4-wheel drive automatic. This is also your drive mode selector, which I'll get into here in a second. But these buttons right here are to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. And then this is your headlight control knob. So right now that's headlights automatic. That is daytime running lights on. All the way to the right is headlights always on, and then pressing this button right here is going to turn your fog lights on or off. Personally for me, I like to leave it in the headlights automatic position. Now, also as standard with the Denali, you get the power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So if I push this, the steering wheel is going to come towards me. If I push that, it's going to go away from me, and then obviously it also moves up and down with the push of these buttons here. So that is definitely cool. But now let's take a listen to the turn signal. Not only is this your turn signal control stock and your high beam control stock, but it is also your windshield wiper control stock. Again, you do get rain sensing wipers as standard, and in order to wash the windshield, all you have to do is press this button right here and the windshield will wash. Zooming back out, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel. By the way, as standard, you do get a heated steering wheel, and pressing on that button right there is going to turn the heated steering wheel on. You can also press that button again and the steering wheel will turn right back off. You can see the amber light is gone, heated steering wheel is off. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center, so let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the Yukon. And then there's a Denali right there driving by. I did want to show you on the back side of the steering wheel, these are your tuning controls on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. And then on the back side of the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls. So again, as standard with the Denali, you do get adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise settings. Ignore that one, that is for your heated steering wheel, but these are your adaptive cruise control settings. You can get Super Cruise as an option, which I'll put the package of which to get that on screen right now. And then on this side of the steering wheel, this is to speak to the vehicle. This is to hang up on a phone call. And then this scroll knob here, as well as these two buttons, are to control your 12-inch digital gauge cluster. So I guess we should just, move into the digital gauge cluster. So over here you can see you get the GMC lettering lit up, looks pretty cool. But at the center you have your digital speedometer readout, then you have your speedometer over here as well as your compass, and then on the right hand side you have your tachometer. This is letting you know what drive mode you're in as well as the transfer case status. That is the transmission status. Then you have your odometer right there. That is the fuel range, the coolant temperature gauge, and then you got your fuel gauge right here. But this is a configurable display, so I guess I want to start with the different drive modes. So right now we are in normal mode. If I twist this to the right, it's going to put me into sport mode. Then I have also my off-road mode and my tow haul mode. If I click all the way back to the left, it's going to leave us in normal mode, which is where I want to be right now. And let's go throughout our gauge cluster. So all I'm doing is scrolling down on this scroll knob right here. So right now you can see your drive summary stuff. It's changing right here, so pay attention. Scroll down one more, you got your trip 1, trip 2, you got your timer, tire pressure stuff, driver assistance stuff, oil life, brake pad life, air filter life. Then you get a blank page. And then if I click to the right here, it's going to bring me into my audio stuff. So then you get your AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, etc. You also have USB, Amazon Alexa, Google News, and podcast. If I click one more time to the right, you got your compass, then you got your phone stuff. And if I click all the way to the right, you can see display layout. So I clicked on display layout right now. You have a couple different layouts. You get your classic, which we're in now. I'm going to put us into progressive, so just give it a second. This is what progressive looks like. Coming down one more, you got your digital display layout. Just give it 1 second. This is what digital looks like. And then if you go into clean, clean is basically just your digital speedometer readout at the center and nothing else. So I'm gonna leave it in classic because that is what it's on. That's kind of what feels most home if you've never been in a vehicle with a digital gauge cluster. But what's also pretty cool is that you can adjust the info that you see here. You can adjust the info that you see here, like the drive modes, and then you can also adjust what you see down there as well. So let's go into left side information. You can see your compass, time and temperature, tire pressure stuff, fuel economy stuff, transmission fluid temperature, or nothing. You go back and then you see it's highlighting it this side in red. If you click on that, you can see your compass, tire pressure, time and temperature, etc. All the same stuff on that side. And then you can also go into your lower gauges. Right now it's set to medium. You can put it to maximum, and then it gives you your battery voltage stuff, your oil pressure, and then you could also go into minimum, which is just your transmission status stuff, the fuel range, fuel gauge, and the odometer. I'm gonna leave it on medium, which is what it was on. And that's kind of about it for this screen. Personally, this is the screen that I would leave it on with digital speedometer readout at the center. You also do get a leather wrapped dash. You get a speaker, and another speaker. These are your tweeters, by the way. Then you get a speaker right up top here. But again, with the Denali as standard, you do get a head-up display system, and it is a 15-inch head-up display system. So right now, it's just displaying the digital speedometer readout. So if I come over to here and I push up on that, that is going to bring the head-up display up. If I push down on that, that is going to bring the head-up display down. And then you have this info button right here. If you click on info, now it's displaying the driver assistance stuff and the digital speedometer readout. Now it's the compass in the digital speedometer readout. Now it's my pitch and roll stuff, my transfer case status, and the digital speedometer readout. And then if I click that one more time, it's just the digital speedometer readout again. And then all the way to the right, you have your brightness. Push up to brighten it, push down to dim it. And that's kind of about it for that kind of stuff. Coming over to here, you got your hazard button. The hazard button actually does flash with the hazards. You also get your push button, start button, a bunch of leather around that. 2 HVAC vents. Then you get some wood grain trim here. Then you have your transmission stuff here. So you push to go into park, pull back to go into reverse, push to go into neutral, pull back to go into drive, push L to go into L. And then you can see these buttons right here for the reverse and the drive. These are your moving gears, and you can see they are illuminated with a little bit of extra illumination. So pretty cool. And then one thing that differentiates the Denali from all the other Yukon trim levels is this screen integrated into the dash. It looks so much better than what you get with like the SLT, for example, which gets the same screen that you get in the Tahoe. I think this just brings the interior to the next level in my personal opinion, and definitely makes the Denali worth it. So again, this is the Denali specific 10.2-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you have your different shortcut buttons like your home button, audio button, map button, phone button, trailer stuff, and that is your Google Assistant. Basically, it's kind of like Siri for Google's version of Siri if you have an iPhone. You also do get a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, so that's letting you know what kind of signal the Wi-Fi hotspot has. Then you got the temperature, the time. This is what your home screen looks like. Actually, this is technically your home screen. This is your secondary screen, audio stuff, phone stuff, camera stuff. You can pop up your 360 camera. You can go in between all of your different camera views here. On the 360-degree view camera system, you get a hitch cam right there. Personally, for me, I like the 360 cam and either the forward camera or the backup camera, depending on which gear I'm in on this side. So this is the screen that I personally like best, and I think a lot of you will agree with me there. Then you get your Google Assistant Play Store. Swiping over to this side of the screen, like I said, you get the built-in Wi-Fi hotspot. So let's say you're on a road trip, your kids can connect their iPads to the vehicle, and basically they'll be quiet on the road trip, and you're not going to hear a bunch of whining, unless, anyways, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. You can also pop up your climate control system here on the infotainment screen as well. And then one thing I like about the infotainment screen is that you get a nice little like pad right here, and it is, I'm going to turn that back off just for sound's sake. But you get a nice little pad right here. You can rest your hands, and like while you're driving, you can basically have one finger here and then the other finger controlling what you got going on the screen. So it's a little bit of stability, which is nice. And then My GMC, you can set service appointments, and that's kind of about it for the screen. The screen is very self-explanatory and very easy to use. So that's why I feel like I don't need to spend too much time on the screen. And then coming down here a little bit more, you got your volume control knob, your tuning control knob. This is to go backwards on a track, forwards on a track. This is your home button for the infotainment system. Then you have a back button also for the infotainment system. You do get tri-zone climate control as standard, and this is what the climate control stack looks like here at the front end. One thing is that you can see the temperature readouts on these two control knobs here. I'm going to turn that back off because it's going to get too loud. But then you get all your climate control stuff here. Again, you do get heated and ventilated front seats as standard with 3 levels of adjustability. One thing that's interesting about GM vehicles is you can heat your back and your butt, or you can just heat your back by pushing on that button there. You can also control the rear climate from up here. And then if I push this, you get some beautiful wood grain trim. It simplifies the interior here at the front end. But if you open that up, you open this up, you get a USB-A port, you get a USB-C port, you get a 12-volt power outlet on this side, as well as a wireless charging pad. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is one of the big phones on the market, and I still have quite a bit of extra space down in the wireless charging pad, other than just setting my phone in the wireless charging pad. And then one thing that is pretty cool about the wireless charging pad is when your phone is charging, you get the nice little green lightning bolt on the phone right there, letting you know that the phone is charging. And then you also get 2 cup holders here. As I mentioned earlier, you get a spot right here. This is where the wireless charging pad used to be on GM products, but you could set your phone there if you wanted to. You get a nicely padded armrest. You get also a little bit of storage space down in here. You could set a phone. You get the same thing on this side as well down in there. But opening this thing up, you get a light here, and you get a little bit of storage space. But you may be like, hey, I just saw like a video with a Yukon SLT, and there was way more storage space and some connectivity in that center console where the Denali doesn't have one. And I'll show you why the Denali doesn't have the connectivity or more storage space, and that is because this does have the sliding center console. So if you come up to here, you can see these 2 arrows. So if I press this arrow right here, watch what happens to the center console. You can see it starts to slide backwards. So basically gives you easier access in the second row to the cup holders, but then also you get a little bit of hidden storage space down in here. You could set what you want to. So it kind of works multiple ways. Easier access to the temperature controls, easier access to the cup holders here. But if you press that, you can bring it right back to you. And then coming over to here, this is what the passenger side looks like. You get some wood grain trim, some leather wrapping. You get a lockable lower glove box with a good amount of storage space down in that glove box. But if I close that back up and you come to here, you get an auto dimming rearview mirror. There is an optional digital rearview mirror. I'll put that package on screen of the package that you have to get in order to get the digital rearview mirror. But then you got your OnStar stuff, lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. One of, or I guess the only option that this vehicle has besides the wheels and the exterior paint is the $1,500 panoramic sunroof. So if I press that, that is going to slide the sunroof back, or I can also close it. This is going to tilt the sunroof, or you can close it. And then this is for the shade itself. I'm not going to open it up because it's going to let sun and it's going to get kind of hot. And then up top here, you have these 2 functions. So if I press these 2 bottom buttons at the same time, that is going to drop the 3rd row seats. And then if I press these 2 top buttons, that is going to raise the 3rd row seats right back up. And then this button right here is going to open up your power lift gate. You can either open it up all the way open, you can open up 3/4 of the way, or you can turn the power lift gate off. So if you live in a house where the garage is kind of low, you can set it to 3/4, but I'm leaving it on max. Then you have your universal garage door opener here. You get your driver light, your passenger reading light, both of which are LED. That's kind of about it for what we got going on up there. And then opening this thing up, you get a vanity mirror, 2 vanity lights, and then the visor itself slides forwards and backwards. And then you also get a spot to grab onto, like an OPU panel here. On this side, you get an OPU panel up there as well. One thing that's interesting is I did a video with a Tahoe last week, and the Tahoe also had an OPU panel right here, whereas the Denali does not. But now, I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard with this vehicle, the couple options this vehicle has. If you want a fully loaded Denali, you might want to look into getting the $9,615 Denali Reserve package. That basically makes this thing fully loaded, but if you're spending $9,000 on top of the Denali, you might as well get the Denali Ultimate. But like I said, I have the window sticker on screen, so I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Denali XL is spec'd is $88,820. That is a lot of money, but you get a lot of car for your money, a lot of capability for your money. But I do want to show you what we got going on here in these rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So let's see what the rear seats look like. So again, you get an automatic down window, but it does not go automatically up. You get your unlock and your lock functions, a speaker, a little bit of storage space for a phone, some more storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and your Bose speaker surround. You also get a Denali door sill that is also brushed aluminum back here. This is what these seats look like. If I pull up on this right here, that is going to drop the seat. If I pull up on it one more time, that gives me easy access into the 3rd row. But if I close this back up and I open this right back up, if I pull up on this and push back on the seat, that is basically to forward slide or reverse slide the seat itself. Again, this one you can see has captain's chairs. I'm gonna close that door back up, and then again, you have the unlock and the lock function. So let's say you're the parent, you go into the grocery store, your kid can lock the vehicle when you walk away, and then if they see you coming back, they can unlock it right back up. You get an LED light here, an HVAC vent, a spot you could set your dry cleaning. You also get an OPU panel, a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. Obviously, tons and tons of knee and leg room here. There's another view. You get 2 cup holders. Again, you get a tri-zone climate control system, so you have your climate controls here, fan speed, temperature control. You do get heated outboard 2nd row seats with 3 levels of adjustability, 2 USB-C ports, and a household power outlet located down there. Again, you get the same stuff on that side, the seat back pocket and all that kind of stuff. You also get a nice armrest here. I do, though, wish that I could set the armrest right here and it would stick into position, but you can see it basically only just locks in right there. You can't lock it in any of these other positions. So that's kind of, I guess, a con, I guess you would say. But other than that, the seat itself is very comfortable, and I've got quite a bit of headroom, and I can also recline these 2nd row seats if I wanted to as well. So definitely nice. You can see it goes all the way back. So nice reclinability here with these 2nd row seats. It's like riding in a limo almost, in a way. That's basically what it is. But stepping on into these 3rd row seats, you get a cup holder here, a little bit of storage space. You get a USB-C port there. On this side, you get a cup holder. Sorry about the lighting. Then you get a USB-C port. And then one thing about the Denali is that this has some nice padding right here, and it is leather wrapped, whereas on the Tahoe I did a video with the other day, this was just a plastic piece. Definitely not as comfortable for your elbow to rest when you have it just sitting back here. But even in the 3rd row, I've got plenty of knee and leg room to be comfortable on like a 5-hour road trip. I am 5'9". I also have plenty of headroom left over. I mean, this is a big American beast, so I guess what do you expect? Then you get a HVAC vent, an HVAC vent. You get your dome lights back here that are also LED, and that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. And I wasn't even getting on it really at all, to be honest with you. One thing about the 10-speed is that sometimes it can be so silky smooth, and then other times it trips up. You know what I mean? And that's just something that I've noticed. And it's not just here with like GM products, it's also the same with the Ford products, with GM and Ford both co-developed this transmission. And sometimes they can just trip up, but most of the time they are pretty good. But there is every now and again that they will trip up and you will notice it. And I almost feel like maybe it is normal. I don't know, but considering the amount that I've driven, you know, Tahoes and F-150s and Silverados, etc., it's just something, some common occurrence, I guess, I've noticed. But it's not too often, but it does happen, and that's why I mentioned it. That was a nice E63 AMG. You know, we keep it real on the 703 Speed YouTube channel. I don't hold really anything back. If I don't like something, I'll let you know. If I do like something, I'll let you know. So I do want to take a left turn here, and we'll do just a nice moderate acceleration, nothing crazy. So it's definitely got the power, but it definitely does not have the fuel economy. So it doesn't do very well on fuel economy. However, if you have a big family and you're looking for an SUV that's going to be very comfortable for everybody, in, let's say you're a husband and a wife and you have 4 or 5 kids, this really is the vehicle you want for everybody to be comfortable, everybody to have their own space, and you got a dog on top of that. This is going to be able to you know, account for all of them, which is great. Here's another acceleration. The 6.2 sounds great and is plenty powerful. I'm not going to get on it, I'm not going to floor it, but I'll just let you know that it does have very good power, even this thing being a 3-row SUV. Is it going to be the fastest thing you've ever driven? No, but it's definitely got the power. By the way, with the magnetic ride control, this thing handles insanely well for a massive 3-row SUV. Now, here's another acceleration. We're going to merge up to about 70 miles an hour. And then take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at about 70. Again, it does have adaptive cruise control as standard, which is awesome. But I mean, this thing will just absolutely eat up miles. I don't care if you're driving from Virginia all the way down to Miami, Florida, you're going to be very comfortable in this. And I did a video with a Tahoe RST the other day. In that video, I said, I think GM may be making their seats more comfortable, because I've also now noticed that here with the Denali, it seems like GM's adding more seat cushion to their seats, because these seats are also very comfortable, and I could feel like I could do a very long road trip sitting in this seat, whereas prior their seats were just a little bit too firm. But it seems like they're doing what they can to make the seats more comfortable, because these seats are definitely comfortable. So you could do a very long road trip, even, you know, having 6 people in this thing, and everybody is going to be comfortable, which is awesome. And you can also tow your boat, you know what I mean? You can have everybody in here comfortable, and then you also, you know, get your boat behind you, which is even cooler. So this thing can do it all, and really it can do it all. If you want good fuel economy, then you just look into getting the Duramax. You know, the Duramax is what comes standard with this thing, and that is what gets good fuel economy. The 6.2, not too good on fuel economy, but it's got the sound and it's got the performance if that's what you're going after. So you know, they give you the option. You know, you want the fuel economy, you look at getting the Duramax. If you want the performance and the sound, then you get the 6.2 liter V8. Honestly, if it were me, I kind of like the 6.2. I know the 6.2 has had its issues with the lifters and, you know, them blowing up, but I think just long term, I would rather have the 6.2 liter. It's just simpler. You know, GM's made their V8s for a very long time, so I don't know. I think the Duramax is a great engine. It gets great fuel economy. So if you're planning on keeping this thing for 150,000 miles, for me personally, I would get the 6.2 liter V8. However, I don't know what the reliability is like with the Duramax. I just know that it's probably easier to work on a 6.2 than the Duramax, so I've heard. So overall, man, this thing would make for a great daily driver. You know, it's super comfortable. It's easy to park because you get the sensors in the front and in the rear, and then you also get a 360-degree view camera system. So all of that makes, you know, parking this thing in tight parking situations just a little bit easier. Yes, it is big, but the turning radius is really good, which also aids with, you know, parking in tight parking situations and doing U-turns and stuff like that. So overall, man, it would make for a great family SUV if you have a big family, or if you're looking for something, you know, maybe you're a family of 4, but you want something that's going to be super safe, and, you know, you do a lot of highway driving. So let's say, God forbid, you do get into a big accident. This is a big vehicle, so it is going to be very safe in that sense. And then it's just also comfortable and capable. So overall, it is a great SUV. If you're interested in a 3-row SUV, something that's a little bit bigger, oh, look at that old Porsche, that is awesome. I would put this on your list and go out and take a test drive in one. I can't tell you if you're gonna love it or if you're gonna hate it. Only you can decide that. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from it, please like, comment, and subscribe. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So I'd appreciate it if you do those 3 things. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.